Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my new video. I'm going to do a quick video today. I'm going to have to finish quickly because I've got a football match to watch. It's going to be Liverpool versus Real Madrid in the Champions League. So obviously I'm not a Liverpool supporter, but I do love watching good football and it should be a good match. And I'm obviously supporting the British team, which is going to be Liverpool. So I really hope they win. So I want to start off with the heartwarming story before I talk about the geopolitics. The heartwarming story is a group of Liverpool fans. They got stuck in England because their EasyJet flight couldn't get to Paris. So they had to get to Paris one way or another. So what they did was they managed to get themselves in a speedboat, and they crossed the channel on a speedboat. And the rivers were pretty rough. The weather wasn't very good, but they made it. And you can see from a clip here. These guys are not going to miss that match, whatever it costs. And I just thought it's a really heartwarming story. So I hope the journey's worth it, and I hope these guys make it and watch the final. And yeah, I really hope for a Liverpool win as well. So let's go on with the geopolitics. So I want to start off with this story here. The war crimes trial of a Russian soldier in Ukraine may have been legal, but it wasn't wise. So what this article is trying to say is basically they made this case against a Russian soldier. They put him down for life, by the way. And it sets a really dangerous precedence for a number of reasons. The first of all, Ukraine is not winning this war. So for them to be trying Russian soldiers like this in front of the world's press is just not a good idea. And it's not a good idea for a number of reasons. One, Ukraine is not winning. Russia is winning. And you can see from the map, you can see the amount of casualties. Even Ukraine is saying they are suffering huge casualties. Ukraine is not winning this war. And in terms of prisoners, for every one Russian soldier Ukraine gets, you got hundreds of Ukrainian soldiers that Russia gets. So if they're going to be trying one soldier in front of the world's press, what do you think Russia's going to do to Ukrainian soldiers? This really does not set a good precedence. And also, it's not going to set good relations with Russia if you want to start having peace talks, for example. It really is not a good idea at all. And I think, Ukraine really needs to look at this wisely. And, the fact is they got this ridiculous panel. Look at this guy, the way he's looking at him. Looking at him like he's some sort of serial killer. And this woman with the Ukrainian flag behind her. This is absolutely a sham. This is absolutely ridiculous. And for them to make it public, Russia can easily do whatever they want to all of these Azov militants that they've captured, all of these Ukrainian militants they've captured. Russia can do whatever they want. They can say, you know what, you guys did this to our soldier. In return, we're going to do this. I just don't think it's a good idea, especially when you're losing a war. If you're winning a war, it's fine, and you're getting hundreds of Russian soldiers as prisoners, it's fine, you can do what you want. But the fact that is you're losing, and this is all for show. It's just a sham. It's a sham, just like this whole war. It's a whole sham. Anyway, let's move on, guys. So, you can see here, still a couple of British papers are still talking the tune of Russian troops fail in Ukraine, Putin's war plan in tatters, they are losing momentum. Come on, need to stop it now. Need to really stop it. You got the Washington Post, which is starting to talk a different narrative now, that Ukraine is losing. Ukraine is not winning like most people think they're winning. But still, you got some of these dumb British papers still going along with this dumb narrative about Russia is losing. Come on, just get over it. Just do some proper journalism for a change. Just get over it, guys. Seriously, nobody's listening. Nobody wants to see your BS. So you got this story as well. London University slammed for setting a dangerous precedent after rejecting student for being Russian. So you see, Russophobia is really, really rampant in England, especially in London. And it really isn't fair, guys. I mean, what Putin is doing in Ukraine, why do you have to punish every single Russian? Why? Do you know what this does? This really galvanizes the Russian public. You know, all of the Russian people that this British, everything that they're doing to Russian people, it just galvanizes the Russian public, and they think, you know what, Putin is right. The West is against us, so we're going to support this war 100%. You know, if you're going to demonize every single Russian, then really, where is the humanity in that? I mean, look at Americans, how many wars they started over the years. Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria. The millions of people that they killed over the years. Does anyone reject any American students? You know, what's the students' fault? Seriously, what is the students' fault for this war? Nothing. Seriously, people in Britain are a bunch of idiots. Bunch of idiots. And he starts from the top, he starts from Boris, and he works its way down throughout the system. Completely shameful, guys, completely shameful. And this is what happens when you try a soldier in public. You know, Russia has basically said they're going to put death penalties on these British mercenaries. And again, you got to understand, mercenaries who are fighting in wars, they have no POW status, they have no rights. You know, Russia can do whatever it wants. You know, this is the same as America fighting in Iraq, and you have all of these ISIS members coming from all over the Middle East. And what does America do to them? Either they blow them up, kill them, or send them to Guantanamo Bay. Basically, given no rights. So why should any other country treat mercenaries any different? Doesn't make sense, right? You know, if you don't want to be tried, if you don't want to be sent to the death penalty when you go to war, then don't go all the way to Ukraine. Simple as that. So basically, I was leading to this story. Tory MP's former Royal Marine son tells how he dragged fellow British fighter to safety in Ukraine after his leg was blown up by a mine as they battled Putin's forces. So Tory MP's son dragged Brits to safety after his leg got blown up by a mine. Former Royal Marine Ben Grant, 30, dragged his comrade to safety in Kharkiv. So you can see there's still fighting going on in Kharkiv, and there seems to be obviously British mercenaries and probably American mercenaries and other mercenaries there. And apparently he had to drag him to safety. So let's go down and see what he says. He says, a former Marine, Ben Grant, dragged his comrade to safety as mortars and artillery fired towards him in the woodland north of Kharkiv earlier in May. And it was basically, the rescue was filmed on helmet-mounted camera. The former Marine, who's the son of Conservative MP Helen Grant, said he was terrified but focused on getting Grenadier Dean Arthur out of danger. So let's go down and see what he says. It was unreal. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. Really. It's not like Afghanistan or Syria, is it? You know, this is the time when actually, you know, Russia will fight back. Can't really fire pot shots like you did in Afghanistan or Iraq or Call of Duty. This is real war, mate. This is real war. He said, trying to do this first aid mid-firefight while there are Russians shooting over us and around us is so difficult. Well, yeah, obviously. That's what you get. That's what you get for going all the way to Ukraine. So this is the guy. And this is the guy he saved. And I gotta tell you this. When your leg gets blown up in Ukraine, who's gonna actually pay for it? Because Ukraine is not going to pay for it. You're not a Ukrainian citizen. British Army is not going to pay for it because you're going there as a volunteer. So who's going to pay for this? You're going to come back to UK. You can't work again because your leg is blown off. You're going to have to sit at home claiming benefits for the rest of your life. So is that the life that you want? You know, what a waste. What a waste going all the way to Ukraine, getting your legs blown off, and then having to never to work again for the rest of your life. Having other people look after you. Because if your leg is blown off, you can't really do much, can you? Can't go out and play football, or can't go out and have a walk, or do many things. You're going to be disabled. You're going to be someone, someone's going to have to carry you up the stairs, and who's going to look after you? Who's going to look after you? Who's going to do that? You can't make any money for the rest of your life. You're going to have to claim benefits. What a waste. What's the point of going all to Ukraine to get your leg blown off? Such idiots. Such idiots. I mean, I'm not going to go through the rest of this story, but it's pretty much the same. These British volunteers, I'm sorry to say, but you basically get what you deserve. If you're going to go there, get your legs blown off and all of that, that's what you pay. That's what you get. I have no sympathy for you guys. No sympathy at all. You're not fighting for England. You're basically fighting, Biden's proxy war. That's what you're doing. You're not fighting for England. Ridiculous. Finally, I'm going to end with this story. The idiots of the day. The award of the day for the biggest idiot goes to Ukrainians beating up taxi drivers in Austria. So there's a video going around about basically these Ukrainians basically going around beating up taxi drivers in Austria. One of the victims suffered a skull fracture in a vicious brawl prompted by a parking lot dispute. Two men were badly beaten outside a luxury hotel in Vienna by a group of apparent Ukrainian nationals. That's what you get, guys. That's what you get for bringing in Ukrainians into your country. These guys are savages, barbarians. This is exactly what you get. The incident unfolded in the heart of the Austrian capital earlier this week, with local police providing some details to the newspaper on Saturday. The brawl was apparently prompted by a parking lot dispute when two luxury SUVs, a BMW X5 and a Toyota Land Cruiser, stopped in places reserved for taxis outside the hotel. At least one of the cars had a Ukrainian license plate. Footage of the incident available on the online shows. So what sounds like happened was a couple of luxury SUVs, a BMW X5, they basically stopped in car parking places which are reserved for taxis. So these Ukrainians think they're absolutely privileged to park wherever they want. Not only that, these are rich Ukrainians. These are top quality luxury cars you're talking about. So remember what I said about if you're Ukrainian and you got money, basically you can go to whichever country in Europe you want. They're not going to stop you in the border. You got money, you can pay these soldiers off, and you can get to Poland or Australia, wherever you want to go. The borders are open for you. You can do whatever you want, and all of these Ukrainians feel they're privileged to do whatever the hell they want. I mean, I got Ukrainians living in London and not far from me actually, and these guys are absolutely privileged. They go to the underground and they ask the underground guy to open the gates because they say they're Ukrainians and they have no money. So the underground guy, has no choice but to open the gates for them, so they have free travel. They go to shops along the high street, and I've seen some Ukrainian guys arguing with shop owners saying they're Ukrainian. They need some food, and if they don't give them, if they don't give them food, then they are Putin lovers and all of that stuff. So a lot of shopkeepers are forced to give them free food as well. They feel absolutely privileged. They're walking around the street, spitting in the street and doing whatever the hell they want. I've seen it with my own eyes. And now you have these Austrians parking wherever they want, taking up taxi spots. And if the taxi driver starts arguing, they get beaten up. They get their skull fractured. So this is the kind of stuff happens when you let all of these Ukrainians into your country. You know, this is not the only incident in Australia. The stories about Ukrainians causing a lot of trouble, not only just in UK, in Italy, all over Europe, in Poland. Even in Poland, they stopped giving Ukrainians free travel recently. You know, but it doesn't stop them from getting free travel. They probably, you know, go around saying that, oh, Ukrainians, give us free travel or else. You know, people are getting really sick of this now. People are seeing with their own eyes how these Ukrainians are. You know, people are getting bored of this Ukrainian story about how, you know, sorry you need to feel for them and you got to give them everything, got to give them money. You know, it's ridiculous. People are slowly waking up, and the faster they wake up, the better, to be honest. You know, this is absolutely sickening. Anyway, guys, that's all I have time for today. I told you it's a short video. Got to catch a football match. So take care for now, and I'll see you in the next one. So have a nice weekend.